Peace, infinite waters, diving deep once again. We are out here in the heart of nature, baby. You hear that bird? Let's just, breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Why I only eat one meal a day. I receive tons of messages about food. And subject heading reads, Ralph, why haven't you eaten breakfast yet? And I'm there thinking to myself, wait a minute, they got a point. We ain't even had breakfast yet. Can I get a hello? Let me share with you why I only eat one meal a day. I've been a vegan for over 13 years, and I've seen that intermittent fasting has not only made me happier and healthier, it's also made me more energetic. A lot of people say, Ralph, how come you've got all of this vibrant energy? And I say it's because I only eat one meal a day. I eat a lot less now than I used to eat because I used to just stuff my face. Like it was bad. Now, Plato, the great philosopher, said, I fast to give me better mental efficiency. There is an Egyptian proverb which says 1/4 of what you eat will keep you alive. The other 3/4 will keep your doctor alive. Slow motion this side. Intermittent fasting has changed my life in an incredible way. And I realize when I eat a lot less, I have so much more energy. Let's talk about the neuroscience. I came across the work of Mark Matson, who is a professor of neuroscience at the Johns Hopkins University. Mind-blowing work. He talked about how intermittent fasting enhances the ability for nerve cells to repair DNA. Fascinating. Now, in a nutshell, before we dive into the meat of the video, inside of your brain, you have something called brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Let me simplify it for you. When you are fasting, you are producing more of that. And what is happening? That in turn is activating our brain stem cells, which is producing new neurons. Slow motion this side. In essence, that's why sometimes when you skip a meal, you're like so alert and aware. You are improving your brain function. His research also showed that inflammation decreases. Oxidative stress decreases. Fascinating work. Alzheimer's starts to decrease. Memory starts to improve. The list goes on. The ketogenic diet. That is the low carb diet. A lot of people say, gosh, Ralph, what kind of foods do you eat? I don't eat a lot of carbs. And when you are on the ketogenic diet, I'm not on that diet, but when it's less carbs, you're having less glucose, so you're producing more ketones, which is the fuel for the neurons, which produces a better brain function. Okay, that's the science. Now, why do I only eat one meal a day? Our body is a vehicle and it needs a break. It really needs a break right now. The steps of digestion. Chewing, some people don't even do that. Swallowing, okay. It's in the stomach right now, okay. Then it goes into the small intestine, okay. and it gets absorbed into the blood. Okay, then you eliminate the waste. Okay. Cool process, right? But our body needs a break if we're just constantly eating all the time, right? It's a lot of work for the body to keep going through that process repetitively. When you give your body a break from stuffing your face with all of those strawberries, actually strawberries are fantastic, with all of that junk food, right? We don't need that. Your body is now detoxing, it's cleansing the blood, it's helping you, your cognitive function, your cognitive abilities improve. When you take a break from the 3 meals a day all the time, that's what I discovered. Health starts to improve. And I love food. In fact, I might eat you. I love food. But I found out that the body needs a break. Our cardiovascular system, our cardiovascular health begins to improve. I came across the work of Dr. Sebi. If you don't know who he is, Google it. Phenomenal healer who talked about how we need to be eating more electrical foods. We need to be eating a more alkaline diet. When we talk of intermittent fasting, it really starts by realizing if your body is always eating foods constantly, 3 meals a day and then snacks and then junk food here and there, what is happening? The body is always going to be doing work. Therefore, it won't have time to actually heal. It won't have time to heal itself. It won't have time to heal and work on other areas of the body that need service. So I started to realize this, that when I'm eating a lot less, when I'm doing intermittent fasting, 1 meal a day, if there is a problem somewhere in my body can attend to that. But if your body is you're always constantly eating and eating and eating, then that's what your whole body is going to be preoccupied with. So the benefits of intermittent fasting is that you now free up space and time and energy for the body to really start working the magic in other areas, as opposed to just the digestive process. Our body is not the best multitasker. Have you ever tried eating and drinking at the same time? You can do that. Have you ever tried eating and running at the same time? Whoa, that's pretty difficult. So I started to realize that you got to do one thing at a time. And that's how the body works. And when you're eating, it's one thing at a time. But if you're constantly eating and eating, then the body is going to be digesting food, and then it's going to be doing other things in the body, and then it's going to be a whole mess. So eating 1 meal a day actually gives the body time to heal itself. It also, once again, it stops multitasking, and you produce more energy. I've found out this, that many times we don't realize we are eating based on our emotions. We don't actually need to eat that much. And I love food, but I realized if we talk of Pareto's law, the 80-20. 80-20 is everywhere, right? He found that 20% of the pea pods produce 80% of the peas. So I find that 80% of what I eat, there is only really 20%, right, of goodness. 20% goodness in what you eat. The other 80% is waste. That's why the body eliminates it, right? So we only really are eating 20%. That's all we need, 20%. Woo! Breathing in that good ass prana, baby. That's 20% right there. That's why foods with live enzymes, people always ask, Ralph, what do you eat as a vegan of over 13 years? I say Look at the watercress, the most nutrient-dense vegetable in the world. The arugula, the kale. What about the E3 Live? The most nutritious food in the world. What about spirulina? 65% protein. Hemp, complete source of protein. So why I only eat one meal a day is because I realize when I used to eat 3 meals, I was very tired. I was putting on a lot of weight. And also, I wasn't really happy with the life I was living. 1 meal a day gives you mental discipline. People say, Ralph, do you fast? I say, no. I've been a vegan my whole life, mostly, right? That's a continual fast. So many times we don't realize when you are cutting out a lot of foods, when you're only eating 1 meal a day, you are improving the brain function. The DNA repair is happening. You are now more awake and alert. But also you have more, I found you have more emotional stability. Many times we don't realize when you're eating and eating and eating, it goes into the body, but the body can't digest it, right? It can't digest it. So it produces a lot of bacteria, toxins to help digest the food. And also hydrochloric acid. That's a long process. So you're eating a lot of meats that could take up to 48 hours to get eliminated out of your body. You eat an orange, it takes 30 minutes. When we talk of eating 1 meal a day, I found that it's helped me to sleep better. Eating a lot just before bed is like sleeping on a bed of nails. And that's what I realized the hard way. Ouch! Right? So when I eat 1 meal a day, I can sleep easy. Because once again, the body is not multitasking. Don't give your body so much work to do. And people are like, Ralph, okay, so what do you eat? What do I eat? Well, if I'm having a main meal, I'm eating brown rice, avocado salad, chia seeds, maybe a arugula salad, right? It can be a hearty meal. But once you finish that meal, once again, the body can do other stuff. You got more mental clarity. You're more energetic. You have heaps of energy from intermittent fasting. And eat. I love food. Food is glorious. But we don't realize that there is also an agenda for people to really eat a lot. Because once again, the food industry is a $1 billion industry. The pharmaceutical industry is a $1 billion industry. And really, we don't really need to eat as much as we think. I found that my health has just improved heaps and leaps once I really just began to eliminate unnecessary foods I didn't need to eat. A word of advice: don't just jump to eating 1 meal a day. It's like practicing. I've been doing it for 13 years. I've been a vegan for over 13 years on the plant-based diet. And it took me a long time to get into this routine. But step by step, you find that you just got so much more energy. Many times we can also, breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Once we can realize you can get all the nutrition from a plant-based diet, that means foods high in oxygen. When you can realize this, that there are breatharians out there, there are people who don't even eat, who exist on planet Earth. I love food though, so I'm gonna eat. But I also realize if I'm eating foods which have a high oxygen content, it's gonna help me become my greatest version. When you are eating a lot of junk foods, they are processed. It's really windy now. They are processed, and therefore they are robbing all of your cells. They are robbing all of your cells of oxygen. Eating a plant-based diet produces more oxygen within the cells. So realize the benefits of eating one meal a day, and then you'll just say, feels so good to be alive, baby. Can I get a hello there? I started to realize this, that disease starts in the small intestine, and therefore health can also start in the small intestine. Every 35 days, your body produces new cells from the foods you eat. So ask yourself, am I eating to live or am I eating to die? The moment you start eating to live, your life will take on a whole new meaning, and you'll just be like, wow, have a beautiful day. Can I get a hello there? Infinite waters, diving deep once again. Stay well, stay healthy. Peace. You